Alright, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, 0. Spawning in the top right-hand corner as the purple Terran, we have Hirmu. And in the bottom left-hand corner, as the white Protoss, we have Probe King. So, oh, gotta kill the replay progress bar. Man, these casts get long. I guess there's just a lot of games. I forget there's a lot of games. Ooh, maybe some nice juicy turn rate 24. Unless this is total sarcasm. Oh, but that doesn't seem like sarcasm. That seems like serious business. Alright, so I'm trying to remember what we saw from Probe King's series. We just casted some games from him yesterday. Trying to think about his play. We definitely talked about his name. I hope I'm not wrong, but I recall he seemed like he was probably on the lower end of Tier 2. From what I remember, if I'm wrong, well, we'll see pretty quickly from his gameplay. As for Hirmu, I don't know. I know the name for sure, but I don't know what to expect from him as far as skill goes, as far as whether or not this will be a nice balanced game. And yeah, I have to admit, what you say, Pliskin, about, or I think it was Pliskin who was telling me this, about the different tiers, and how Tier 2 encompasses a wide skill level, explains why it feels like there's a boatload of 2-0 series in CPL. I think everything I've casted, there's been a lot of 2-0s. Alright, so the simulator goes up as well as the gateway. And we are going to have gas and barracks, so normal looking here for Hirmu. For some reason I thought this was a PvP for half a second. But it certainly is not. And of course, scouting incorrectly here is Mr. Hirmu, but he'll be finding him on the second one. Unless he suddenly decides to go cross map, but that's a pretty atypical scouting pattern. And we got 3 on gas, we're getting our core. All things normal. All things normal coming up. Yeah, I don't know. Probably my opinion is that CPL, although I would need to know if this would affect overall player numbers, but I feel like there's a lot of interest in CPL, so I'm not worried. I really feel like Tier 1 should probably be wow, that was a stutter. I feel like Tier 1 should be lower level. Like, Tier 1 should probably cap out at, like, you either cap it out at C or you cap it out at, like, 1700, and have Tier 1 be, like, I don't know, 1500 to 1700. Have Tier 2 be, like, 1300 to 1500, which is still a pretty big skill difference, but it's not, like, it's not quite the same difference as a 1650 versus a 1350 guy. And then have Tier 3 be everything down below. That would be, I think that would be a little bit better way to slice them up. Or if you're finding you can get plenty of players, maybe you'd even shrink Tier 1 and have Tier 1 be like 1500, or maybe even, probably 1500 to 1650 or something like that. That would keep the games in Tier 1 pretty tight. And then have Tier 2 be, you know, 1300 to 1500. Ideally, you'd want to keep tiers to between 100 MMR, but that just gets to be too many tiers. Because I'm trying to remember what the breakdown is. I know there's an official breakdown for what the expected win rate for someone that's 100 MMR different is. Now, again, I don't know if Blizzard's MMR is true, like MMR, or if it's ELO. Either one. I'm thinking of one of them where there's a definitive definition. Like, I don't know if this is the correct one, but what I'm getting at is, if there's a 100 point difference, like let's say you've got a 1300 playing a 1200, then that 1300 player should win, say, 75% of the time, based on how it sticks out. So, you know, if you start talking gaps of 200 or 300 or 400 MMR, then obviously the win rate between those two players is going to be dramatically whatever. And the other thing I will say for CPL is that win rates are only a concern in the first couple weeks of the season, and maybe not even then, because improvement is a factor, right? Like, if everyone starts in Tier 1 at 1650, but one player just works hard and trains and jumps to 1900, then he should crush through most of the other players. And if the other players don't improve, then that's on them. So, you know, if you're losing to other tier 2 guys more than the first couple games of the season, I would say there's nothing wrong. Like that should happen. And if it's not happening, that actually implies that no one's getting better. All right, so we're having, is this 2-gate? Yeah, this is 2-gate aggression here, along with an observatory and another pylon down here. But it looks like a 2-fact. Oh, we're having 2-fact from Hirmu. All right, so Hirmu's going aggressive mode, aggro mode. Probe King's gone 2 gateway, and he's made pretty consistent goons, and he's cross map. So good micro here. Oh, siege. 2-fact with siege, huh? All right. All right. Well, all right. So with good control here, Probe King has enough units that he can theoretically defend this. It's definitely a control thing. It's definitely not the easiest thing in the world for Probe King to do, but he certainly has the ability to defend this. He's got an obs out, should probably bring that obs up. Hirmu, I feel like, well, actually, I don't know how good Probe King is, but Hirmu is playing this like almost comically defensive here. He's going 2-fact, which is a super aggressive build, and then he's not being aggressive at all with it, which is definitely not the correct response. So he's really hurting himself here, especially because Probe King put down, and he's just 2-fact into expand. It's not a good choice. 2-fact is slightly advantage against 2-gate in terms of the ability to win the micro battle. Okay, now if he's going to expand behind this, that's not inherently bad, but he needs to get everything together. It's really unfortunate that he went for siege. It's much more common to go for vulture speed and mines. You can see the vultures are getting way too far in front of the tanks, though. Now, if he can actually pin in the dragoons with mines like this, that's great, but this works so much better with speed, but it is pinning in the dragoons, and even a mine goes off. So now this becomes a pretty decent start. Trading 3 or 4 vultures for 3 or 4 goons, hell yes. And we do have speed on the way, so as long as he rallies these vultures down, this becomes a very scary attack now that Probe King is dealing with. He has been producing fairly consistently from his 2 gates, though. Unfortunately, what I don't like is he's not getting out on the map. He's not being active here. These tanks are relatively unsupported, and 4 or 5 goons can definitely attack these tanks. Let's see if he just walks on top of them. Needs to walk forward on the tanks, but there's no micro, and maybe a few too many tanks here to fight. So right now, this is still going okay for Hirmu, but there's only 3 tanks left, 4 dragoons. One of the tanks sieging up, not a bad choice here, going to force this back, but probes are pulled, and now all 3 of the tanks are sieged. This is a very nice time for those vultures to arrive, and now mines being laid here, and that is going to carry off those goons, and he is going to go in and harass. I like this decision from Hirmu. The shuttle's not a bad idea. It might allow him to break this, but unfortunately he's losing all the probes here at the natural. He's mining up the gateways. He really should just go behind here and kill some probes while there are no units. And obviously, a terrible place to be in if you're Hirmu. More mines being laid. Will the vultures get away? One of them does. But another one gets eaten up, and gonna lay maybe a few more mines in front of these gateways. Oh, vulture fighting over here, but this tank is in range of the Nexus, but this drop is gonna be pretty powerful here. Wait, how the hell did that tank even disappear? What the fuck? I do have no idea what just happened to that tank. Shuttle here has a Dragoon, but the Dragoon is temporarily forgotten. Unfortunately, with only 1 tank sieged up, it's not actually all that powerful. There's no tanks attacking each other with splash. The Nexus is lost here, and Hirmu is expanded. He sent a few SCVs over, probably sending a few more vultures than he absolutely has to into the main, especially because their obs are out. But now here, this is a good vulture. Now we're getting some probe kills, paying for themselves. Tremendous damage being done here by Hirmu. The Nexus is now down. 1 Dragoon fighting a single siege tank should micro the tank back. Ah, no, okay. Well, maybe going to run in for a few more probe kills, being a little bit indecisive with the vultures, laying a few mines here, and then just going to head into the mineral line, look for a few more probe kills. Let's see how the target firing is here. How many more can he get? I see 1 going down. I see 2 going down. Can he get a 3rd? Nope. He turns to fight the Dragoon. Still, that's quite a bit of damage. The 3 gates from Probe King is eventually able to repel Hirmu, but now a full transfer here, and Hirmu's done a good job making SCVs during this attack. We got a pretty respectable number. Both bases well saturated. Nexus does restart for Probe King, but we can see just how few probes he has. And in just a little bit, Hirmu should have a little too much for Probe King to deal with. And Sig Saucy, my friend, thank you for following. It's appreciated. Welcome to the stream. And Pliskin saying, beware the dreaded 1 goon drop. It did something. I don't know if it did a lot, but it did something. I mean, it's a better option than just walking in your Dragoon, right? Because if you walk in your Dragoon, for sure it gets one free siege hit. Like, it was definitely a good decision to drop the Goon. It was just, there wasn't enough tanks sieged up for it to be, like, super powerful. But it's better than just walking the poor thing on in. Alright, so we got a few vultures here. Maybe a few mines going to be laid up here at the third base location. Ob's coming in here to check just how bad is his situation. And he's going to see it and be like, aw, fudge, he's already got 4 packs, and he's got a shitload of SCVs. He's mined a lot of minerals from his natural, whereas he's mined literally almost nothing. Oh, if that was like, those were Dragoons just spawning. Really nice timing for that. Ob's coming back here. Doesn't get a whole lot of probes with that harassment, but we can see already there's like a 15 supply advantage. There's getting to be a bunch of tanks. Bunch of vultures being made here. We've got an eBay and the armory. Okay, if you're gonna timing attack with like 4 facts, don't get an armory. Don't get an armory, please, please. If you're doing something, and it's not upgrading, so it's not like he's trying to do like Flash's new 2-1 build or something like that. Oh, he does start an upgrade though, but it's not fast. It's 11 minutes. Not a fast upgrade. Not a fast upgrade by any stretch of the imagination. Alright, so command center going up over here. Oh, he's actually taking a third base. He's just taking a very, very safe third base. He's taking a third base that's so safe he could probably attack and kill Protoss right now with halfway decent control. He's been ahead in gateway count for a long time. We see 6, 7 tanks that are out. Almost equal tank to goon count, plus a handful of vultures. Yeah, definitely could. Plus 2 tanks over. Oh my god, yeah, if he took everything, he could just kill Protoss. So that gives you an idea of just how ahead Hirmu is. He starts that starport. Gonna run into this group of Dragoons here. Gonna check for some other bases. Not gonna find him. Well, he will find that there's a base being taken over here. But first he's gonna check top left. Make sure he's not getting tooled on here with hidden bases. So overall, Hirmu looking to be playing pretty solid. Probe King doesn't look as solid. We see that's a lot. Holy shit! Wait, that's a lot of idle probes though. You can have a few idle probes, but 6 idle probes. Ugh, there better have been some really important battle going on if there's 6 idle probes. And of course, we've been watching this game, and we know there hasn't been any serious battle going on. So, like when you don't have 6 probes mining, that's a pretty decent hit to your economy. Like, if you can't immediately send your first probe to mine, or like, not first probe, but if you can't immediately send a probe to mine when it comes out, like, that's not the end of the world if you're keeping on top of the actual production of the probes. But at some point, like when you're letting 6 probes stack up, uh-oh, Dragoon slips out of position. Lay some mines at the ramp. Alright, so these goons are having to scuttle back desperately into position. Oh, it's a forge, not a cannon. What? These vultures are not really being the smartest. They're having a bit of difficulty laying mines, and they're kind of fighting one-on-one against this Dragoon. They could have just mined up and killed. But again, those are minor things. Big things here that Probe King is struggling to get his third up. Doesn't have it perfectly secured yet, and that he hasn't added more gateways, despite the fact that his money's already run fairly high. We'll probably see 1,000 minerals out of him here fairly soon, unless he really... Oh, jumps on those gateways. What did he spend all that money on? Did he just... Oh, never mind. Okay, he had around his gateways he had to make. But still, Hirmu is growing really nicely. Oh, did he forget to add science facility? Yeah, he did. So he can't start his +2 very fast. Should have been starting that right about now, but forgot that all-important science facility. And a few Dragoons sweeping over here to the right-hand side, but certainly not enough to actually threaten this base. There's 4 tanks there. If he had a shuttle, had all his Dragoons together, could be a little bit annoying, but there's also plenty of tanks in natural, can easily defend. He's actually got them all in siege. I wonder if he wants to go for some sort of attack. Let's see what Hirmu is going to do here. Is he feeling a window? And SCV is going to sneak around. All right, I think we are going for it. Okay, so Hirmu going to roll out across the bridge here. He probably needs the siege for this. But yeah, maybe pull the vultures back a little bit. Gets a few tanks. Then we'll need to unsiege and just kind of keep pressing forward. Still on only 3 gates. I said we were going to see 1,000 minerals from him. And indeed we are. He's getting Zealot speed. Oh, okay, he actually has 4 gates, but still. With the third base coming up, needs more like 7 or 8 gates against this. Hirmu is actually doing a very nice job with his macro. Should be able to add even 2 or 3 more factories here shortly, and that's going to mean a lot of reinforcements for this. But actually, it looks like Hirmu just wanted to do this to get his vultures out of the map. Very nice little arc here from Probe King, basically just saying, nope, you can't harass me, but the vultures have found a way into this base. On the downside, well, there's only 3 probes, and they are not being microed. Well, now a few ones being laid, and then switching into targeting the probes. Going to grab those 3. Uh-oh, be careful. Okay, so a few mines going off, and the third base now going to start getting attacked by vultures. It's going to force all these dragoons back, and now Hirmu should just attack. Like, Protoss just doesn't have much. He has to go back and use all these dragoons to defend. You might as well just go for the kill. Oh my god. Oh, well, the shields certainly go down faster, but oof. These vultures are going to work on this poor Nexus, and Hirmu's just taking 4th. Going for some super macro, but he's working his way up to a 50 supply lead. And the response, what the heck? Probe King like did not have a response. I think he can save the Nexus, but it's going to be kind of tight. Aw, but the vultures are not targeted on the Nexus. He could totally come back for that with a drop or something if he wanted, but Hirmu is going to push in the interim here. A lot of tanks in the center. Unfortunately for Probe King, his army is coming in a tiny little line here and just getting absolutely routed. Can even lay mines over here to intercept the retreating dragoons, which are trying to fight way too many tanks. Probe King doesn't even, or Hirmu doesn't even really need a siege. It's just got too much mass. Going to come around from both sides, reinforcing with more vultures. And Probe King is trying to meet him, but it looks like it's going to be a no siege win for Hirmu. Baller style, takes advantage of his huge early game lead and closes that one out pretty easily over Probe King. Which will... Oh, that's Gorgonoth. Gorgonoth is Probe King. Okay. And it looks like Game 2, Gorgonoth has selected the 2-player map Autobahn, upon which to battle forth. Alright, so in the top left-hand corner as the Teal Protoss. In the top left-hand corner as the Teal Terran, we have Hirmu. And then the bottom right-hand corner as the Red Protoss, we have Probe King. And I will be right back, headed to the bathroom for a little bit of water. And all right, and we're back. There's no CPL on Team Liquid? What? What? Hold on. We're gonna go take... Oh, we got a proxy going on, too. I could have sworn it was listed. Dude, it's listed. It's up there on the calendar. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. It's listed. It's listed. I just went and looked. It's listed. Alright, we're gonna have... Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we need to go back in time. I guess this shit got wild right from the start. So we started with a gas steal. Started with a gas steal here from Probe King. It's super windy where I am. It's just like... Oh, there's a thread. It's linked on the calendar thing. I linked the thread. So probably if you check somewhere in that calendar entry, maybe clicking on the actual like calendar thing or whatever. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Okay, so that's the most interesting response to a gas steal I've seen in a while. Did he scout this? Or is he just a goddamn ninja? Is this hacks? No. I'm joking about hacks, but... Oh, he's got an SCV in and he doesn't see anything, so he's just... That's why. Never mind. Alright, so yeah, in a manner of speaking, he scouted this. So he's getting a bunker. We're going to have some zealots coming in to harass. He's killing off his gas. He is hiding his second barracks. I hope he just goes straight Marine Medic all in. If you're going to go for panache, be panachy. Alright, good pull on the SCV. Low SCV count, so pulls are important here. Not losing SCV is a very big deal. Probe goes down almost immediately. Zealot taking plenty of damage. SCV run! No! Yes! Nice! Nice, nice, nice! Hirmu keeping it tight so far. So far, so good, but he's forgotten a depot. A very bad supply block in the midst of all this craziness. No tech behind this. Actually, there is a... Ah, you have to get gas before you get a core, Probe King. What are you doing? What are you doing? You know better. I know you know better. Maybe it's a panic situation, but it should be less panic for Probe King, because he's not actually the one getting attacked. Zealots are being pretty annoying. Probably will need to lift this barracks maybe and land it over here. Or maybe he'll just be able to stabilize, doing a little bit of dancing around the bunker. Zealots in the base just being annoying, doing zealot kind of things. What is it attacking? Oh, okay. He's attacking the barracks. Oh, skewered between two zealots. Oh, there's only one met. Ooh. That's kind of low on count. And with dragoons coming, I mean, coming being a relative word, because he went for core before gas, which is a major not supposed to do kind of thing. The only reason you guys, if anybody's like new and doesn't know why you should avoid going core before gas, the simple answer is because if you get the core first, you don't have any gas to actually use them. All right, we're getting our first SCV kill. He's almost got enough zealots that he can afford to just dive into this mineral line here and tank kills with these zealots because he's going to be continually reinforcing them. We got two barracks. We got the... Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Get the academy. Get it. Now just make, like, 2 medics and 2 fire bats and go get some... Oh, whoa. What? How in the... Oh, wow. Barracks everywhere. Jesus Christ. All right, well... sorry, this game is so unorthodox that I am completely failing as an obs. And now, Probe King is completely distracted on his home front here as his core is getting bunker rushed to death. He's not going to be able to save it. Now the Dragoons running in on the SC, or the Zealots running in on the SCVs, but they're getting glitched and taking significant losses. He's not even going to get a single SCV kill. Oof. That goes great, and now it looks like Hirmu wants the bunker rush behind the mineral line, and to be honest, it looks like he's got it, and it looks like he's got the game, because all the Zealots are dead. There's no harass potential. The core isn't going to finish. There's a bunker built back here. There's even an SCV to repair. If there was an SCV to repair, I'd say, okay, well, maybe you can kill the bunker, but this is not enough. You can actually reinforce the Zealots in the bunker with this barracks here. He can get marine stuff. He's getting fire bats. I think Hirmu's done it with a little bit of panache, too. Oh, one bunker over here. Marines going over here, picking off the probes. What a sneaky move. Hirmu's like, you get sneaky with me, Gorgonoth. I'll show you sneaky. And he made it work. A little too distracted with that proxy, so some very cute play here. Forward thinking. I can't really blame her, but I like the flare. I like the flare. Perhaps not the most, perhaps not a quote-unquote Korean decision, but it's a good, smart decision. And now we actually have fire bats coming out of the bunker. Down at like 4 probes. Probe King's really being a little bit stubborn here. He doesn't have any sort of other base on the map or anything that warrants staying in the game. He can't really mine any of his minerals. Oh, fire bat! More fire bats coming. He actually did get True Dragoons out. He has not started to range. He doesn't have enough money to do anything. He actually has to take Dragoon damage to even try to fight the bunker. Oh, Firebats, just go for the Firebat. No, go! The Goons are stim and run! Stim and run past them! No, don't fight them, no. Oh. If it would have been another Firebat and these Goons were occupied, oh. Slightly more multitask here and Hirmu could be so abusive. Just so abusive. Alright, so we got 3 Dragoons, but we don't have any range, so he's going to have to dive in into range to be able to do anything. I'm amazed that he's actually still able to produce anything. Must have been a little bit of banking, but I mean, we got a bunch of barracks here coming up, and the bio is going to end it if Probe King doesn't call it. Probe King working really hard. Oh my god, if he loses that probe. Alright, so he's going in for the bunker kill here. The repair is pretty strong, but there are limits to the strength of repair. So okay, micro, but still not even been able to start range yet, and now we have the Marine Medic group moving out onto the map. Probe King showing us some high elite level fantasy GG timing here, and there we go. He waits for the Marine Medic group to come up and say GG. So Hirmu will take it 2-0 over Gorgonoth.